Hey guys, Mr. T here, just doing another video. This one is on using ratios to divide quantities. So if you understand ratios, this allows us to find out how much of a total quantity each side of a ratio represents. Why? Because the whole thing, the whole of the ratio, the A side and the B side, represents the total number of parts. So the total number of parts is going to be whatever A plus B is. Now this side represents how many A parts there are, and this side represents how many B type parts there are. So that means a ratio has parts, either side of a ratio has parts that represent parts of a whole, and parts of a whole can be represented with fractions. So this whole idea is going to be based on converting ratios, or understanding the ratios can be represented by fractions. Once you know what fraction of the whole is the A parts, what fraction of the whole is the B parts, you can find how many A and B parts there are in total, which is the A plus B. And then you can use this understanding to solve problems. So let's do an example here. So for example, there are 80 year 8s at a school. The ratio of girls to boys is 5 to 3. So what's the total number of parts? Well, the A side is 5, B side is 3, so A plus B is going to be 8. So there are 8 total parts. Total number of parts are 8. There are 5 girl parts out of 8 and 3 boy parts out of 8. So that allows us to represent those ratios as a fraction. 5 out of the 8 parts are year 8 girls, and 3 out of the 8 parts are year 8 boys. And now that I've represented them as fractions, I can use the fractions to find out how many of the 80 year 8s are boys and how many are girls. So I've got 5 8s times by 80. How do I times a fraction by a fraction? We times the top line by the top and the bottom by the bottom. Any whole number has a denominator of 1. So 5 times by 80 is going to be 400. And 8 times by 1 is 8. So just quickly, uh, 400 divided by 8, because a fraction stands for division. 400 divided by 8 is 50. So there are 50 girls in this year 8. Do the same for the other fraction. 3 8s times by 80 over 1. 3 times by 80 is 240. 8 times by 1 is 8. And that's going to be 30 boys. And just double check, 50 girls and 30 boys add up to 80 year 8s, which is correct. Let's do another problem, less guided. There are 35 lollies to share between Michelle and Wade, so that's my total. In the ratio of 3 to 4, how many lollies do they each receive? So do the same approach. Total parts is equal to 3 plus 4. There are 7 total parts. 3 out of 7 go to Michelle, and 4 out of 7 go to Wade. We know the fraction is 3 on 7. We know the total is 35. We want to know how many go to Michelle. So 35 over 1, 3 times by 35 is 105 divided by 7 times by 1, which is 705 divided by 7 is 15 to Michelle. In lollies, and now this fraction 4 on 7 times by 35 lollies in total over 1. 4 times 35 is 140 over 7 times 1, which is 7. 140 divided by 7 is 20 to Wade. And just double check, 20 plus 15 is 35. This gives us a total of 35 lollies, with 15 going to Michelle and 20 going to Wade. So that's an example of using ratios to divide quantities. Hopefully that helps you out, and see you in the next video.